Thank you all for coming. My name is Kevin Tully. I'm here just to introduce a little bit about what we were doing here during the school year and to let you know why we're gathered here together. And I'd like to thank our distinguished guests for coming up to us to join us and our panelists as well. This is Jane Shamia, sorry, every time. Melissa Knapp, Susan Christensen, and Todd Dye. Thank you very much for coming to give feedback to the presentations. The presentations that we're going to be having are on Howard Gardner's 9 intelligences. I think we only got 7 of them, but that's okay. And I don't know if there's anything else I have to say. Okay, then I am going to turn it over to Melissa. Who's first?
Oh, Ruben, you first.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Shreya. This is my 3rd year here at Homework Help. And my favorite part about Homework Help is just seeing how the kids grow from like the beginning of the year to the end of the year and how like comfortable they get with everyone. It's just really nice to see.
My name is Ruben. This is my 1st year here in the tutoring program. It's actually pretty nice being here. It's a good way to help out the kids and give back to the community as much as they give it back to me. And we did our presentation.
Our topic was Interpersonal Intelligence, which basically means you're people smart. So that means you can understand and interact effectively, you have good communication, you're sensitive to others' moods, and you can view from multiple perspectives. Some behaviors would be you're very observing, listening, understanding, speaking, and leading. Some professions would be teachers, social workers, actors, politicians, for example, the mayor, therapists, and psychologists.
Some famous people that were known to have an interpersonal intelligence were Clara Barton, the founder of the American Red Cross, Gandhi, which actually led the revolution against the British in India. Martin Luther King was actually a civil rights, was in the civil rights in the 1960s, very inspired by Gandhi's civil protest and peacefully civil protest. Aristotle, a Greek philosopher, and Cesar Chavez, which was the co-founder of the United Farmers, which was actually inspired by Martin Luther King Jr. Some behaviors that they had were the communication skills, the conflict resolution, team building skills, and basic interactions. Like a prime example of this would have been a football captain. Captain is able to communicate with his team, is able to resolve the problem when there is a problem. He's able to build team skills, and he's able to have that personal interaction with them. And that concludes our presentation.
Yeah. Well, what I would suggest is you move the whole thing up to that side.
So could you show that to the judges?
Susan, would you like to start us off?
Sure. I thought your examples and explanations were great. They were integrated around Martin Luther King and Gandhi, and I liked your example.
Thanks.
I agree with what she said. I like the examples that you used, and I also just want to say thank you. I recognize how valuable teams' time is, and so for you to give it back and helping out your community is very admirable. And your presentation was well done.
Thank you.
Very well spoken. I agree. The examples were great. You're very clear. You speak. Your voice carries, and you're very articulate. You did a very good job.
Thank you.
I appreciate you pick people I recognize from really very close to where we are now, all the way back to Gandhi, and then you tied it together with an example of football that I can understand, because I don't always understand Gandhi. So I appreciate that you split up, were so well-rounded, and gave me examples I knew. and then tied it in with something I could understand. Thank you.
All right, number 2. Number 2.
Go to number 3.
Number 3.
Hi, I'm Sierra. I've been here for a year and a half, and my favorite thing about the homework help is helping little kids with their homework, because I know that not everybody has the people at home that can help them. My social intelligence was musical intelligence, which is when you have a capacity to discern pitch, rhythm, and tone. It enables us to recognize, create, reproduce, and reflect on music. Behaviors, you have a knowledge of how to lower stress through music and rhythm. You are able to use music and sound to deepen personal relationships with others. And you can discover your hidden capacities for learning and remembering information. People with musical intelligence were people such as Mozart, John Williams, Michael Jackson, Eminem, and any musician or person in performing arts. You want me to play right now?
Could you play for us, please?
Yes.
Demonstrate.
Okay. Do I say the name of the music?
You choose.
I will play a line for you guys from Harry Potter, because everybody knows that.
I can start. I love that you brought the flute and played for us. That really added to it. And your examples were great. Thank you. I recognized all of them, actually. Maybe the little kids didn't, but I love your examples.
Thank you.
This is one of my favorite intelligences, so I thought your presentation was well done. I thought bringing the flute as a prop was a nice touch, and you played beautifully.
Thank you.
I concur.
I hope you stick with playing musical instruments. I missed out on that when I was a kid and wish I had done something, so stay with it. You're talented. Continue to grow in that area. You're doing awesome.
Thank you.
All right, number 4.
Alright, I'm Ben, and this is my first year tutoring in the homework help program, and I like being here just because I get to help out the kids if they need help, if they need me. And I'm going to be presenting Naturalistic Intelligence. So what this is just human beings being sensitive to the natural world, so stuff like animals, plants, rock formations, cloud formations, ocean, weather, just patterns in nature and stuff. So people with naturalistic intelligence, they tend to be good at observing and categorizing stuff. Kind of helps them having a green thumb, so growing stuff, surviving in the wild if needed, hunting, and in the modern world, discriminating products in stores and stuff. Some professions are going to be like veterinarians, biologists, botanists, other stuff. I'm gonna skip over that list. And then some people that are recognized to have really good naturalistic intelligence. Gonna be like John Muir, Ralph Waldo Emerson, Jane Goodall. And then, yeah, here's a picture of some horses, flowers.
Thank you very much. And I'd also like to point out to the judges that Ben has done us a favor here because the person who made that poster and the person who was going to present today was not able to make it. She actually is doing FFA today. And so Ben has stepped in at the last moment and did quite a job there. Yeah.
I love your post. Number 5, she's beautiful. All right, so my name is Bee. I've been in the homework help program for 3 years, and I was actually in the program as a, I was actually in the program as a 6th grader. What I like the most about it is that the kids actually make friends in the tutoring program, and they actually get homework help while making friends. That's my favorite part about the program.
All right, so hi everybody, my name's Gerardo. It's my first year in the homework help, and then honestly, I really like this program because it gives me the ability to teach other people like stuff that I know, but at the same time I'm learning from them, you know, even though they're little kids, you still learn a lot from them. And for us, our topic was interpersonal intelligence, and basically it's just people that are self-aware and they know what they like to do, they're motivated, they set goals for themselves, and they always have a positive and confident attitude towards themselves.
People who display interpersonal intelligence, famous-wise, would be Socrates, Gandhi, and Anne Frank. My favorite one about that would be Anne Frank because even though during the Holocaust she was having such a rough time, but she had the right things to say, but they also related back to her, which is all about what interpersonal intelligence is.
All right, so other words that could describe them could be words such as they're inverted, self-aware, independent, organized, and like I said, they're positive. And some examples of these is actually, for example, whenever a teacher tells a student, oh, you're really good at math, you're good at spelling, English, these are all examples that you've shown and demonstrated that you're an interpersonal person.
Some quotes of interpersonal intelligence would be that everybody is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it goes its whole life believing it's stupid. Another one would be progress is impossible without change, and those who cannot change anything will not be able to change anything throughout their whole lives.
And this concludes our
Oh,
presentation.
no.
Oh, wait,
Some
not yet.
Professions with interpersonal intelligence would be a therapist, a counselor, a nurse, social worker, and I have a little example for you guys. This is how I come off during this presentation, and this is how I really feel. So that's what this is all about, and now we conclude our presentation.
Great speaking. I love your pictures.
Thank you.
And I love your quote. You didn't read at all when you said the quote. You memorized it. Very good.
Yeah, I liked the quotes too, and I like that you tied some of the examples of people you used to why you personally liked them. So I think you gave it a nice touch.
You didn't read. You really made eye contact, and you had nice cadence to your delivery, as well as the examples, and especially Anne Frank is one of my idols.
I think both of you have this interpersonal intelligence. You present yourself very well, you did an awesome job, and you saw those pictures we talked about Anne Frank. I think she probably went through a lot of those emotions for a long time while she was, going through her life ordeal. And yet she was a very happy person. And so at least that's what we get when we read her diary. And so you guys seem like you're very happy people too. You have that, and I appreciate that. Thanks.
Thank you.
If you could give the intelligence first, just so we explain the, well,
Okay.
All right. Hi, my name is Ian. This is my first year here. I really like this program because it really helps the kids around the community with the homework that they need, and it kind of teaches us a little bit in the long run.
My name is Sophia Tully. I've been in the program for about 1.5 years, I think. I recently actually just stopped, but I really enjoyed the program because it helped me just as much as I hope I helped my student, Jackie. Our presentation is on spatial intelligence.
All right, spatial intelligence is best defined as how well an individual processes visual information and how well that individual uses it to manipulate their everyday-to-day life. It is described as a foundational intelligence with their other intelligences may interact. Howard Gardner believed architects, artists, and engineers were a few who had high spatial intelligence. People like Leonardo da Vinci, Vincent van Gogh, and Georgia O'Keeffe. People like the Wright brothers had a high spatial intelligence that can show itself differently from person to person to what is special intelligence?
It could be in art. Perspective, like on the previous page, optical illusions, shapes, and maps. It could be in puzzles, like a jigsaw puzzle or a Rubik's Cube. It could be in science, from graphs and models to building a rocket, to atom models. Spatial intelligence is making sense of the world through patterns and shapes and models when words may not be sufficient. Thank you.
Who drew the pictures?
I did.
Very good.
Thank
Great
you.
visuals. Very good artist.
Very spatial.
Yeah, I love the drawings. I love that you put each example on an individual page and took the time to do them separately to show us what that meant. So, good job.
Thank you.
You have very animated delivery.
Thank you.
You were enthusiastic.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you. I try.
I like seeing the different flip charts, and I thought your very last sentence wrapped everything together and kind of explained it. It was an awesome ending to the presentation.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Yenny, and then this is my first year in the homework help program, and then I really like this program because it's a way of me giving back to my community.
Hi, I'm Salvador. This is my first year in the program too, and I really like this program because I feel like I'm more involved in my community by being a part of this program. So we did our intelligence on kinesthetic intelligence, and the definition of kinesthetic intelligence is the capacity to manipulate objects and use a variety of physical skills. And this intelligence involves a sense of timing and a perfection of skills through the mind and body.
Some people with this intelligence is Michael Jordan, the famous basketball player, Baby Ruth, the all-time, what do you call it, the all-time baseball player, and then Tiger Woods, a professional golfer.
And you could tell that these people are very athletic and just know how to learn through the body more than, like, say, the mind. And one quote is, "Tell me and I forget, teach me and I may remember, involve me and I learn." So this quote to me is saying that they don't learn by just reading or like from lectures. They learn by actually doing and being involved and being participant in like a certain topic.
Right, and then some of the characteristics or things they do is they're very, wait, sorry. Oh no, they're dancers, athletes, and craftspeople, and then surgeons actually have this intelligence too.
And some of the behaviors they display are learned by doing. So like in the classroom, instead of like about learning a certain topic, they actually touch, like say you're learning about like plants or something, instead of just like just talking about plants, they like go outside and like to like just explore and all that. They can't sit still for too long. They're very energetic people and they don't like being still. And they like to be active and like more physically involved, and they have a lot of physical energy.
And that's it.
You both speak very well.
Thank you.
Good
Thank
job.
you.
Good job presenting, and again, you didn't read, you seemed to memorize it. And I like the way you said a quote when you said what it means to you.
Yeah, I agree with that because it gave me a better understanding of what this particular intelligence actually means when you kind of gave a good example of what the quote was saying. And I like the bright colors on your poster book.
Thank you.
I thought you didn't just name people that have this intelligence, but gave a little bit of background as to why they are that way. And I loved your quote.
You helped me understand this by giving them the athletes. I hadn't really ever thought of what our bodies do as an athlete or what an athlete's body do, because I can't do that. As an intelligence, and it helped me understand it. I thought it was great. So you've helped me learn today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just one observation. Most teachers are verbal, linguistic. Most students have a tendency to be a little bit more kinesthetic.
That's what I thought too.
Match the two of them a little bit better.
Hi, my name's Itzeli. This is my first year here in the program. I enjoy helping the kids learn and having them understand the material the way they should be learned in their own way and having them see things in a different point of view.
Hi, my name is Nikhil. This is my first year here. And in my family, I'm the youngest, so I was never tutored to my siblings. I was always tutored. Homework help has helped younger children, which I've learned to actually really like.
Our intelligence is existential intelligence.
To have this intelligence, one must have sensitivity and capacity to tackle deep questions.
These people typically think outside the box. They search for the answers and questions we as society don't have. They ask questions such as, how are we created? What is the meaning of life? Why are we here? Why do we live? And why do we die? People with this passion and desire inspire those around them to become great people and leaders.
For example, Gandhi. While everyone was set on physical conflict, Gandhi's mind was set on nonviolence. This inspired those around him and helped change the world. In today's world, someone like Pope Francis or some other world religious figure has existential intelligence. But ordinary people and even some children have this intelligence. Having a deep sense of knowing and wisdom that far exceeds everyone else. Jobs that require existential intelligence are philosophers and doctors, because they have years of knowledge that far exceeds everyone else, having a deeper meaning and understanding of the world around us.
Without this intelligence, there will be more conflict in the world. We need it in order to better understand ourselves and others. Thank you.
Thank you.
You work really well together. You're kind of a team. You remind me of two newscasters. It's not being knowing when to speak. And you did a very good job explaining the overall intelligence.
Yeah, you were both very well spoken, very clear in your enunciation, so I heard you very well, so good job.
Yeah, it was a confident tone, I think. I particularly found important why we need this intelligence to avoid conflict in the world. I thought that was a good insight, and the fact that Gandhi inspired by his example. That was very well done.
I like the way you said, I thought you looked right at me. And so that caught my attention even more. And I noticed both of you, while you were talking, would look up at different people, and you had good eye contact, and that keeps the audience engaged. So a good way to keep their attention and keep them engaged with it. You guys did great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You got it?
Okay, hello, I'm Kiana Azar. I've been with this program for about a year now, and my favorite part is helping students who may not be financially stable enough to afford a tutor on their own get the help that they need through this program.
Hi, I'm Annalisa Borja. I've been with this program for a couple months now. I've always had a passion for teaching children and watching them grow and learn, and I'm able to do that through musical theater. But being introduced to the tutor program has brought me to know that I like teaching through other ways other than singing and dancing.
So our intelligence was linguistics. A definition of a person who is linguistically intelligent includes their ability to understand spoken and written language. Also, it means that they have the ability to speak and understand the language themselves.
So some characteristics of a linguistic intelligence person would be noticing grammatical mistakes, often speaks of what they have read, they love puns and rhymes and word games, and linguistic people often enjoy foreign languages as well.
So some jobs of someone who's linguistically intelligent could include a politician, teacher, writer, editor, actress or actor, and a preacher. Notice that all of these people obtain the same ability to speak well publicly, as well as their tendency to be good with words.
So some people that you might recognize with the linguistic intelligence would be William Shakespeare. He was a very, very famous playwright. Maya Angelou, she was a very outspoken civil rights activist. Barack Obama, he was our former U.S. president. He was known for his amazing ability at writing really good and performing good speeches. Edgar Allan Poe, Ernest Hemingway, and Oprah Winfrey, who used her intelligence for entertainment.
And that concludes our presentation.
Thank you.
So you both must have this intelligence. You're so confident and relaxed when you speak, and you have a great voice, both of you.
Thank you.
Really well done.
And your enthusiasm really came through about working with the kids in the program and why you do it. And so I thought that was really great.
All of the above, and explaining the examples, why they have that intelligence, and that you saw a commonality in all of them, and that they were able to speak in public. So, very well done, very confident.
So you convinced me I am not linguistic because you said linguistic people notice grammatical mistakes. I did not notice any. So maybe it's because you didn't have any. But, great presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I was told I had a partner. It's not. That is. So my name is David. I have been with the program a year, 2 years now. And what I like about it is I'm able to help other kids to the best of my ability. My intelligence is mathematical intelligence. And mathematical intelligence is the ability to calculate, quantify, consider propositions, hypothesize, and carry out complete mathematical operations. Examples of this would be what's up on the thing, which is 7 times 7 minus 9. Most of you, by the time I get to the answer, will either have read it off the board or have figured it out on your own. At least that's what I hope. But in order to use mathematical intelligence, you have to know your numbers. And as most of us are taught our numbers since the day we're able to understand them, by this time you'll probably know the answer. And the answer is 40. And you were just using your mathematical intelligence if you were doing the math. Examples of behaviors would be if you're good with angles, knowing distances, estimating, and also just carrying out math in general. Being able to look at a number and say, hey, I can do this with that, or this, or this. And many different people that you may not think about sometimes have this and use this to make a living for themselves. For example, architects, they use measurements and different numbers to figure out how much of this or that they'll need to make a building that has 20 plus floors that reaches into the sky. Scientists use this skill every day to figure out why this does this and how it does that, and most of the time they're able to write that down as a mathematical equation, which is incredible. Some famous people were Einstein with his famous E equals mc squared, which has remained unchanged or modified since it was made and is still correct, which is incredible. And Leonardo, who used angles in his paintings and allowed us to have depth and knowledge of what is going on in a said painting. And yeah.
So first of all, you're up there by yourself.
Yeah.
Good job, and you're very comfortable being up there by yourself. And very good speaking and explaining. But I love the way you started with a problem, because you actually did a little audience participation. You brought us in and we had to figure out the problem. Great example. Good job.
I love that you did this entire presentation from memory. There was a lot of facts that you provided and a lot of good examples, so good job.
I thought the examples of Einstein and Leonardo were well done, and that Leonardo used angles for perspective. So, thank you.
I found it very detailed. I liked all the examples and different ways that math could be used, just even in art, things. It was very detailed. You're very comfortable up there. You don't seem to be nervous at all.
That's a very big lie.
There's that picture.
That's a great skill, to be nervous but not show it.
I think
And so
so.
you gave that presentation without appearing to be nervous, so that's a great job.
Well done. Could I have somebody in the group say why we did this? Why did we look into intelligences, different intelligences? B?
I think that we did this. No, I'm sorry, guys. I think that we did this to kind of show what types of intelligence everybody has. Like personally for me, I don't mean to sound conceited, but I had a few of those, like how they said I had interpersonal. I also have linguistical, being able to speak and write Arabic fluently. Basically, everyone in here has something good about them, and they have something intelligent. So I think that's what the significance of this was.
And also to identify this, not only your own intelligence, but how you can link to your students' intelligence and connect, maybe in a different way that is from your intelligence. So you could use metaphors of their intelligence to connect with their knowledge. So, yeah, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Well done.
Well, thank you very much again. I'm very impressed with all you guys. What you just saw was something that Susan has added to the program. When we started this program, we were helping kids on a drop-in basis. When Susan came in, she had the great idea, just a brilliant idea, of pairing up one teen with one student for the year. It creates a kind of mentorship. It creates a kind of bond between the teen and the student that helps both of them grow, as you heard throughout the speeches. We have one little girl in here who won't come into homework help unless her student is, or unless her tutor is here. She'll refuse and just sits in the back and does her homework by herself. And I think that's a fairly common kind of thing that happens between the tutors and the students. And I just wanted to once again say thank you all for a year of wonderful service, and give everyone a hand, please. And then at this point, I'd like to call up our mayor, Len Augustine.
Well, first of all, I want to say what a great program this is. I'm surprised to see this pairing up and things. A great idea. And also the collaboration between the school district, the library, the city. So, you know, working together like this, you can make things happen. But you're all very intelligent. I was amazed at the kind of programs that you are doing here as far as the subjects, you know. Kinesthetic Intelligence, wow. You know, linguistics, those kind of things. That was a surprise to me to see that. And also the fact that you're different ages, and that seems to work out pretty well too. So this seems to be a better way to do things than just going home and having to study by yourself, I think. It's a great idea, and I'm really all for it. I love it. My wife worked at this library for a long time, almost 20 years. And she always came home and told me about the wonderful people that worked here, people like Kevin. I've known him for a long time as well. And so I'm really excited to see this library being used for other things than just taking books out or videos or whatever. So, in fact, I took a book out last week. I'm trying to lose weight, and so I took out a book called Forks Over Knives. It's very hard to do. Anyhow, thank you so much for inviting me, and I'd like to hand some of these certificates out. I feel privileged and honored to do that, and I'm really impressed with all of you. And you know, one of the most difficult things to do is to get up in front of a crowd and speak, and you all did that really well. So I really like to give you a round of applause for that. I have a theory, by the way, and if you don't know what you're talking about, say it with authority. That means, you know, use a good voice and people will believe it. So anyhow.
So Ian Humphrey.
Thank you.
And Adriana, did she come?
Adriana,
Adriana, yeah.
Good afternoon. Congratulations to you.
Thomas Aspirus.
When you get up here, turn and face that camera. You know, when you're a politician, you can smell a camera because you don't. Turn around this way. There you go. Now, hand this way.
Ava Von Gordon.
Ava?
So she is not here today, I'm sorry.
Okay.
And Jackson Zhao.
Jackson? Nice job. There you go.
Ben Liu.
Hello, Ben. Congratulations to you. Face the camera. Thank you, sir.
All right, Leanne Wu.
And I'll also tell you that our vice mayor is here. Delana Harris is sitting in the back over there.
Sophia Tully.
You look pretty relaxed up there.
Really?
Yeah. Congratulations.
Sierra Bowers.
That's pretty good. Turn around that way. There you go. Let's put this out here, see. And I'll take, maybe we'll get a still out of that.
Nikhil Desai.
This way. The right side is the best place to stand, by the way. It is. It is. I'll tell you why. Because when people read, they read from right to left. So they'll see you first. That's important. Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
That's it. Good smile.
Ruben Cruz.
Hey, Ruben, you're the first guy, right?
Yeah.
Very good. So I was going to be first.
Yeah, I was thought so too.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Bayan Isby.
Thank you for coming.
That's pretty neat. Turn around.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nice to see you. Thank you.
Gerardo Amezcua.
You going to Stanford?
I hope to.
Yeah.
Good job.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Kiana Azar.
Thank you, Anna. You did a great job. Good stuff.
Annalisa Borgia.
Congratulations.
Kaylee Barra.
Thanks, Mom.
Brittany Perez.
Thank you. Thank you.
David Sander.
Hi, David. Hello. What grade are you in?
9.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Gracie Sander.
I'll take that she's in the other one.
Yenny Cadenas.
There's going to be a test for everybody later on, remembering all the names. Thank you.
And Kevin Jacino. All right,
That's it?
Yep, that's it.
Thank you for having me. Nice job.
I just want to say really quickly, I've enjoyed getting to know each one of the tutors, and I think it was so fun to study the 9 Intelligence with you because I've seen how your different strengths have come out with different students you've been paired with, and each tutor has brought their own special flavor to their tutoring, and I thank you guys for being flexible. When we were short on tutors, some of you had 2 students, a few of you even had 3 students one time. So you guys have really rose to the challenge, and you have accomplished things I'm sure you didn't even think you were able to. You've attacked math, 6th grade math, with a lot of enthusiasm and really accepted that and been able to really help the students a lot. So I appreciate you guys, and thank you so much for volunteering your time. It's been so good to get to know you guys.